Companies are continuing to flout empowerment regulations. The Black Economic Empowerment Chamber says it's received around 700 complaints of fronting in the past 4 years. This as some policy experts accuse government of messing up its own policy. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by Dumisani Mpafa, who is the chairperson of the Association of Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Professionals. Dumisani, good afternoon to you and welcome. 700 complaints in the past 4 years. Put that into some sort of context for us. Is that of concern?
Jeremy, and to the viewers at home, and thank you for having us. Well, it's appalling, and to be exact, the cases from 2016 to 2020 is about 822. It's quite a massive number, but we are not really surprised as the industry body, because we experience and see some of these transgressions happening almost every day. And we believe that as soon as we have cases that are adjudicated in the court of law and companies being fined and found guilty, until then we're going to still continue to see these cases. I think we have not seen the best of them, because even in terms of the law enforcement, their understanding of the BEE and contravention of the BEE is not at the right level, but also the public knowledge as well is not up to scratch. So once the public knows about this, they will start reporting. So we think there's a lot of underreporting. It could still be high, but we think it's not acceptable that we have a high a level of cases that are being reported.
How do you investigate, or firstly, I guess, determine and then investigate where this is happening?
So basically, the BEE commissioner, which publishes this report, and members of the public, those that are affected or who have witnessed some of these contravention, will then report to the BEE commissioner, and the BEE commissioner would investigate and process those cases. But also, as the BEE, as a professional body, our practitioners do pick up some of these cases, and we refer them to the BEE commissioner. We have a very close working relationship with the BEE commissioner. We report them to the BEE commissioner. If our members, which hardly ever happen, is involved, then we then deal with that and process that through a disciplinary process. But it's the public, it's really being driven by the public. But also, in terms of the BEE legislation, listed companies and state-owned companies are required to report to the BEE commissioner. So as the BEE commissioner receives and process, those reports, then they do pick up some of these, issues.
Why do you think fronting is seemingly on the increase?
So I think, what had happened, if you just look at the genesis of BEE, this legislation was passed in January, 2004, the very first BEE legislation came out. And later on, we had the codes that were published in 2007. We have always maintained that those codes were an easy exam to pass. And then the codes were amended in 2013, which are much more stricter. So, companies, as they find it difficult, to comply with the legislation, they will start, finding ways, to survive. Because must remember, a BEE certificate is basically, a license to do business. Because if you don't have a BEE certificate and a good BEE status at it, you're going to struggle to find business. So you'll find that one of the, the areas that the BEE commissioner flagged is false and fraudulent BEE certificates. So which means, people just going out there and manufacturing their own BEE certificate. So you can see there's malice out there. But the reason they do that is because they know that once they have that BEE certificate with a higher BEE status, they'll be able to get a lucrative government tender. And it's actually very concerning, for the industry and for the practitioners as well.
You've just said that the legislation is possibly difficult or too complex. Is this not also just a sign of exasperation, particularly in an economy that is under siege?
So no, look, I mean, the view that we hold as the BEE professionals is that, our membership, firstly, maybe let me start there. The membership that we have is that of BEE verification professionals and BEE consultants. Our consultants are very competent in terms of advising and providing guidance to companies. And they've got the right, skills and knowledge. But what companies tends to do is that they don't make use of professionally qualified, advisors. They take their own advices, from people that do not have the right knowledge, and as a result, it exposes them to this kind of fronting. And for your information and information of the public out there, is that this contradiction, this contradiction can happen to serious, fines and sentencing, and we should not take issues of empowerment and BE seriously. And the other part, Jeremy, is that there's a sense that people don't take BE seriously, because we believe that BE is very key in terms of transformation, and if we achieve a transformation, we'll be able to grow an economy. But when we have a limited number of people that are participating, you're not making use of your competence as a country.
All right, just before our signal dies, and I fear it's going to, just a quick answer as to what sectors or what businesses is this most prevalent in?
So it cut across most industries, and I think also because there's a limitation with what the BE Commissioner can publish in terms of the cases, they just publish the statistics. They don't give the names, so it's difficult to tell, because we'll only know once those cases has been adjudicated through a court of law. But it cut across most industries, but construction is one of the leading industries in that space.
All right, Dumisani Mpafa, thank you very much indeed, chairperson of the Association of Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Professionals.